What does a Barrett's esophagus biopsy show? Imagine your doctor peering inside your esophagus with a tiny camera to see what's really happening beneath the surface. That's what happens during a biopsy for Barrett's esophagus. When you have ongoing acid reflux or gastroesophageal reflux disease, the stomach acid can damage the lining of your esophagus. Normally, this lining is smooth and made of flat cells called squamous cells. But repeated acid exposure can cause changes. The body might replace these cells with different ones that resemble those in the intestines. This change is called intestinal metaplasia. During an upper endoscopy, the doctor looks at the esophagus through a flexible tube with a camera. If the lining looks abnormal, maybe red, velvety, or salmon-colored, the doctor takes small tissue samples from those areas. These samples are sent to a lab where a pathologist examines them under a microscope. The biopsy can reveal if the normal squamous cells have been replaced by columnar cells with goblet cells. Goblet cells are a sign of intestinal-type tissue, which is not normal in the esophagus. Finding these cells confirms Barrett's esophagus. It shows that the lining has changed because of long-term acid reflux. The biopsy can also tell if there are any precancerous changes called dysplasia. Dysplasia means the cells look abnormal but are not yet cancer. There are different levels: no dysplasia, low-grade dysplasia, and high-grade dysplasia. High-grade dysplasia is more serious because it has a higher chance of turning into esophageal cancer. If the biopsy shows Barrett's esophagus without dysplasia, the focus is on controlling acid reflux. Doctors recommend lifestyle changes and medications like proton pump inhibitors to reduce acid and prevent more damage. Regular endoscopies are needed to keep an eye on the esophagus and catch any changes early. If dysplasia is found, especially high-grade, more aggressive treatments might be necessary. These can include procedures to remove or destroy the abnormal tissue, such as endoscopic resections or ablation therapies. The goal is to prevent the progression to cancer. Most people with Barrett's esophagus do not develop cancer, but the risk is higher than in the general population. That's why the biopsy is so important. It helps doctors understand what's happening in your esophagus and decide the best next steps. Understanding what a biopsy shows helps connect the dots between acid reflux, GERD, and the potential long-term effects. Managing reflux symptoms is vital, but regular checkups and biopsies help catch changes early and keep you safe.